Ladies and gentlemen, we are now back with, finally back rather, with more Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age Struggle for Freedom. I decided to begin this part by actually, just starting off at the next area before the cutscene happens. That's because I don't think we really need to explore all of Ozmose Plains anymore. At least unless it's for like a hunt that I'll be doing, like one of those yeah, you know what I mean. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Just got home from work, and I'm you know trying to fight off like 4 or 5 enemies at a time right now. You know, at this point. I was gonna do it yesterday, because today is May 15th, the time of this recording. I was gonna do it yesterday, but my allergies really started to flare up, and I was just sneezing and coughing so much. I mean, I still cough a little bit, but it's not as bad as before, right now anyways. But yeah, yesterday my allergies started to really flare up, because it's allergy season right now. And I just didn't want to put myself through talking a 20+ minute video with so much sneezing and coughing I was going to be doing. But today I'm feeling a little better. A bit tired, of course. I just got home from work, but hey, that is life.
I guess this one was a success.
Wow, I'm impressed, Vaughn.
I got a good feeling.
This is the way.
An alliance between Dalmasca and the Empire.
Reason tells me 'tis the only course. We must avoid a wasting war with the Empire at all cost. Yet I fear I could not bear the shame, had I but the strength.
A shame perhaps for me and for you. But for Dalmasca, 'tis hope.
And you can just accept this, can you?
After Vane's ruse, I had abandoned hope for honor. Yet never did I forget my knightly vows. If I could protect but one person from war's horror, then I would bear any shame. I would bear it proudly. I could not defend my home. What is shame to me?
My people hate the Empire. They will not accept this.
There is hope.
Right?
Don't encourage
Hope for a future where we can
Not
join
that bad,
hands
am I?
as
got a
brothers.
good feeling.
Larson, please. This is serious.
I'm sorry.
Don't be Larsa. Somebody's got to put him in his place.
The Senate may play at intrigue, but Lord Vane is not one to be brought down easily. The entire military waits upon his orders, from the War Council down to the rank and file. What better blade than he to strike down the enemies of the Empire?
Your Honor reminds me of Zect 2 years since. He, too, put his trust in Lord Vane's strength, and what became of him? Gone without a trace since Nabudis.
I will not hear you malign Judge Sect. He was a noble warrior. Or do you think his trust in Lord Vane ill-placed?
Vane took 2 of his own brothers' lives. He is ruthless beyond contempt.
Ruthless, you say? Would he were more so. He gives traitors no quarter, be they of his own blood. How fitting for one who would bear the burden of empire.
But could we bear him? Zagabath, what of you? Surely you do not believe his brothers were traitors?
So found His Excellency Lord Gramis, you would do well to mind your tongue, Drace. That matter is long past.
Your Honors, a summons. Lord Vane has arrived at the palace.
We come at once.
Lord Larsa has left for Baromises. He hopes to enlist the aid of the Grand Kiltius in stopping the insurgents. I doubt this will be enough to deter Ondor, but even a slight hindrance to his operations would be welcome. This will delay the Rosarian invasion, and we will have bought much-needed time to shore up our defenses.
Just as His Excellency had hoped.
No matter the result, I'm pleased with the young lord's progress. I can already see the stunned faces of those mud-witted senators. The fools think a child emperor's strings easy to pull from the shadows. But they will find that Lord Larsa is no puppet.
Yes, the senators would be most pleased with a puppet for an emperor. Recall, Drace, how the Senate fears and despises Lord Vane's ability. When they realize the truth, that Lord Larsa is no docile lamb to be shepherded, they will bare their teeth and devour him.
You're right. I shall speak on this matter with His Excellency at once. Gabranth, it falls to us to protect Lord Larsa. Are we agreed?
Aye.
Alright, so after that cutscene of politics and knowing if Lars is a puppet or not, we can finally move on with the story. Basically, what we need to do next is do what Larsa says pretty much at the moment and go to Mount Obris. I don't know how to pronounce it. My apologies there. I know it's Mount. I'll call it Mount O. I'm sorry. Just as some of the names just don't really stick out to me when it comes to this, or trying to remember what place is what. But I know where we are right now, and that's Golmore Jungle, which is outside of Eruyt Village, which is basically the home of the Vierra. This area can potentially be pretty tough, even when you're at an appropriate level, because I think the Hellhounds here do a lot of damage. Even at this point. And Panthers, of course, they're pretty much everywhere. They're basically the corals, I guess you can call that, of the series. The one that can cast Blaster, that will be either Petrify or Stop. I think it's Petrify, Stop, or Death. I believe that's what the Blaster does in this series. In this game, from my luck, I think it's just Petrify, because I'm getting like the countdown Petrify status effect. It works similar to Death Sentence, except obviously the Petrify countdown means that you're just gonna turn to stone, whereas with the Death Sentence countdown, you just die. I also do apologize if at times the frame rate decides to drop. It could just be a combination of my laptop nearly overclocking, or if there's just too many things at once on the screen, then the video quality in terms of frames is gonna take a hit a little bit. But it should let's say it should it should sync back to being 60 frames per second. That's what I'll try to say. Sorry, once again, I'm a little bit lost in thought here. But yeah, this area, like I said, can be pretty tough, but also manageable if you know what, even what enemies do to what? Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Shades of Black will be very, very helpful here, because if you are lucky, you can get like Sleep, Scathe, Flare, you know, Toxify even, if you want to bring down an enemy very quickly. The reason why it's helpful, because it's free, it doesn't cost you any MP, and you can still use some of your MP for healing. It makes your options a little bit more flexible. Now we got the Malboro. The Malboro, you know, they're a classic Final Fantasy enemy. Debuted, I think, since Final Fantasy FF4, I want to say. Don't quote me on it, but I believe that's when they debuted. These nasty little critters are known for causing major stats effects. And more than one at a time, too, with their infamous bad breath. I forgot what the name of the spell that is equivalent to bad breath, but I know one of the Malboros, I think the Hunt version of Malboro anyways performs it. Excuse me, in this game. And of course, this is where you can farm on some decent items here as well, if you want to reload the map and whatnot, just like you could in actually another game that I remember can reload treasure on a map that randomizes, or particularly the Persona games, 3 and 4 are the ones I can think off the top of my head, because in 3... Yeah. Sorry guys, my commentaries have to be put on hold for a bit to do a quick chore, but the video will keep playing, so I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had to help bring some water in the house. Gonna take advantage of those 3 for 10 sales to Stop and Shop. Those 24 packs of Poland Spring water. But what you may have noticed from earlier that I didn't get a chance to talk about yet are these blue barriers. You cannot go any further in the Bowmore jungle for the time being until we do something for the Vierra, which next cutscene that'll be coming up here will establish. Of course, just double checking the map again, just making sure I know where I'm going. But yes, right there, that blue barrier right there, that blue gate. We're not going to be able to get past it, at least for right now. Just wanted to establish that. Alright, so time for some more senseless violence coming up. But yeah, since we're getting on the topic of Final Fantasy for a bit, for those that saw the State of Play a little while ago, they finally started to show more of the Final Fantasy VII remake, and they're going to show more of that in E3 coming in June. I know the remake was in inception since, God, I want to say like 2007, 2008 or something. It was around the same time, or a little after the same time that the PlayStation 3 came out. And when they started to show the teaser trailer for the PlayStation 3, that looked to be PS3 graphics, it was later put on hold because somehow the processor required to make this game run wouldn't be compatible with the PS3, so they had to delay it, and it's been further delayed for at least 10 years. And Square were working on other projects at the time, like Nier or Kingdom Hearts.
What is it?
The jungle denies us our passage. What have we done? We? No. I.
What's that mean? How are we supposed to get through that?
Making an appearance?
Come on, I'm talking over here.
I thought you'd left for good.
Hey!
Our choices are few.
Friend? Balthier!
This is as much for you as it is me.
Oh?
You are ill at ease. The Nethicite troubles you. You've let your eyes betray your heart.
Right.
What are you doing?
Soon you will learn.
Whoa.
We go to seek aid of the Vierra who dwell ahead.
I bet they'll be glad to see you after so long.
I am unwelcome, an unsought guest in their wood.
Alright, we are finally here at Eruyt Village. This is, once again, as I mentioned before, the home of the Vierras. That's where they belong, and I guess based on their law, which will be established in a little bit.
Bring her to me. She will know why you call her.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize it was in the middle of the cutscene. But if the Vierra were to leave this place, they're generally not welcome back, because the way they perceive it is like they would rather live in the outside world rather than live with them. I guess it is where it is, I suppose. But yes, anyways, this is a decent... but yes, this is where, if you want to upgrade some of your equipment, this is definitely the shop to do so. If you have to go outside and grind for a bit before coming back here, you can most certainly do that as well. Chances are you may or may not have enough money for all the proper upgrades just yet. I definitely recommend you buy, I probably should have gotten into this in the beginning of the game, but you should probably buy the spells and abilities first before you buy off the equipment. And of course, always make room to sell your old one, of course. But here at this village, we can also find the spell Haste, which will be extremely useful for something to help us finish battles a hell of a lot quicker. Found ether there that time. But one of the more popular combinations I've seen used before for damage output is just Haste and Berserk. You can put that on a damage dealer. Then he or she will be just popping big numbers left and right. Yeah, but this, looking at these Vierra here, it does bring an interesting question for those of you who are still watching out there, or a Final Fantasy aficionado. How did the Vierra exist? Like, how are they born? Is there like a rare male Vierra that, you know, gives birth to these Vierra? I mean, I'm really curious about their origin.
Hey, Mjorn lives here, doesn't she? We're here to see her.
You will leave at once. It is not allowed for humans to walk on these grounds.
We'll go as soon as we've seen Mjorn.
If you can find her.
We're not leaving until you let us see her. We'll find them. We'll look for her ourselves.
Ah.
I've heard the voice of the wood. She says Mjorn is not in the village. Jote, where has she gone?
Why do you ask? The wood tells us where she has gone. Or can you not hear her? You cannot. Your ears are dull from hearing their harsh speech, I think. Vierra who have abandoned the wood are Vierra no longer. Mjorn too has left her embrace.
And you forsake them in turn?
It is the will of the village. Vierra must live always with the wood. So is the green word, and so is our law.
We'll let you worry about keeping your laws. Just do us a favor and stay out of our way. We'll find her ourselves.
Our sister has left the wood and gone west. She wanders warrens among men who hide themselves in clothes of cold iron. Thus to me has the wood spoken.
The Vierra may begin as part of the wood, but the wood is not the only end we may choose.
The same words I heard 50 years ago.
Alright, so yes, this has been established right here, that in order for us to go further into Golmore Jungle, we need to rescue one of their Vierra that wandered off away from the woods into the Henna Mines. The Henna Mines, it will be for another side quest for much later in the game, but the unlocked area has a lot tougher enemies than the one we'll be facing pretty soon. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this village for right now. When we just came here just to establish that we need to go to a different area for the time being, and then we can revisit Golmore Jungle later on. Once we're able to somehow destroy the barriers. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Not bad, Vaughn. Didn't think we'd get any information out of that one. So then, what was she saying about men in a warren?
The Henna Magicite mines. Maybe that's what she meant. They lie in Bangkor, south of the Ozmose Plains. The entire region is a colony of the Arcadian Empire. There would be soldiers.
Is that a problem? Let's move.
Fran,
Yes?
I was wondering what Yote said, you know? About how you said the same thing 50 years ago?
Your point?
How old were you again?
Nice fun.
Surprisingly rude.
Try to grow up, please.
Talk about making the party uncomfortable. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Hope to see you guys next time. Later.